The cure of laziness or to not having ideas is to putting pressure on you. It's as simple as that. So I'm putting laziness and not having ideas together because at the end of the day they are the same exact thing. Because not having idea is simply your brain being too lazy to come up with something. Because the 99% of problems, your brain knows how to solve them. Like, your brain knows something to do. Your brain knows what he can do to get the situation better. It's just too lazy to come up with it. So, but I'll give you a good example to explain you what I mean by pressure is the cure to laziness. Now, think about a guy in Africa who has to walk 3 miles to get his water, no? Or has to hunt to get his food. Do you think he will stay there saying that he doesn't have the energy to do that? Just imagine him sitting on a chair saying, but I don't feel like, but I don't know how to do it. Like, they have big ass problems. And if they don't solve these problems, they are getting fucked. So they need to solve these problems. And there's no such thing as being lazy or not doing it, because if you don't do it, you die. So they have a big pressure on them to solve that. This is why you see all the rich people telling you how they went from nothing to ultra-trillionaire, going to 0 to 1,000, because they were in a situation where the pressure to go up was so high that they got propelled in space. Like, they were all broke as fuck, you know, difficult to pay the bills, difficult to live, and then got to a point where they said, fuck it, I am changing this situation completely. And then they got better and started making money. And this is why the Matrix is so good at keeping people in line. You never have the pressure to get better or solve any problems, you know? You always have someone that is gonna solve them for you. You go to school, you only have to do the things in school, or you go to work and you only have to do your little job, then you'll get paid, and with the money you'll get the food and a little house, and then you're good. You don't have any major problems you have to address, you know. And even if you have big problems like an enormous debt or, you know, shit health of this type of stuff, you start getting anxiety because your brain starts telling you, oi, we have to do something about this, we have too big of a problem and we need to solve it. But they will just say, yeah, take these pills and shut the fuck up. Don't try to solve your problems, just take the pills and be a good boy. They give you a mediocre life that sucks because you have no freedom, but that's good enough to not make you angry and to not make you suffer. But sometimes it happens that no, the programming gets a little bit wrong, and people get to a point where the problems get too big and they say fuck it, and they work hard as fuck until they've solved all the problems and go even over that. You know, like, you're broke, you get mad at the fact you're broke, and then you become multimillionaire. Basically, Andrew Tate's story explained it 50 seconds. I'll give you another example that really makes you understand what I mean by this thing. You know, imagine yourself doing a project now. You don't want to do that. You don't have any ideas. You lose fucking hours just watching your cell phone and thinking about what to do and how to do it. And at the end of the day, 2 hours and you haven't done anything useful. And now imagine yourself doing the same fucking project, but the deadline is tomorrow and it's fucking midnight. You think you'll have the same problems, like, I don't have any idea? No, you just fucking do that because you have to do that. You have an enormous pressure to do the thing. So there won't be any of, but I don't know what to do, but I don't have the energy, but I don't have that, or, you know, you'll just fucking do that, because the next day, if you don't, you're getting fucked, because your brain is perfectly capable of doing all the tasks you put him in front of. You just need to give him motivation to doing so. Because most of the time, like 99.9999% of the tasks are just, you can solve, like, there is a solution to that problem. There is a fucking solution. You just need the fucking motivation, the reason to go and solve that fucking problem. And your brain is a good problem solving machine. So if you give him the fuel to start going, he'll go. And he'll do the things. Think about the way anxiety was useful for the survival of our ancestors. Like, they were in caves. If they didn't have water, they would die. If they didn't have food, they would die. So there was no, I don't want to go to hunt, I don't want to do that. Because if you don't, you die. Now you have a good motivation to go and hunt. This is the way this video is born. Because I was trying to come up with some ideas to make the next video, but I couldn't find a good idea. But then I came up with this realization and I made this video. I realized that, it's not that the ideas aren't good, but the problem is that I don't have any pressure to do the things. I can just not do them and everything is gonna be alright anyways. And this video idea is not better than any of the other ideas. Probably won't do many views, but I'm still doing it because I put the pressure on myself to do it. I said, fuck it, I have to do a video, and now I'm doing a video. And this is the fastest video I've ever made. I've never done a script so fast. I've never recorded so fast. Like, my brain never, literally, when I was doing videos, my brain never worked so fast. My brain never put things together so fast. It was always, I don't have the inspiration, I don't have the motivation, I don't have that, I don't have so. But when I said to me, okay, fuck it, I have to do it. I have to do it because if I don't, I'm gonna remain like this for the next years. Then my brain said, okay, fuck it, we have to do this video. You need to give yourself pressure, some level of anxiety, because anxiety is natural. Because they always say anxiety is awful. They always try to cure anxiety indirectly by not solving the problem that causes anxiety, but by giving you pills or doing something else that doesn't even matter. The real thing is, when you get anxiety, it means that something is wrong, that something has to be solved. So when you're anxious, think to yourself, okay, fuck, why am I anxious? Okay, I'm anxious because of this. Okay, that means that I have to solve this problem. And if you're not anxious, that means that everything is going to alright. Okay, so you have to tell yourself, okay, fuck it, I have to do this thing. There are things I have to do. Why I have to do them? Because if I don't, this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen. I'm gonna stay a brokey for my life. I'm gonna stay fucking slave for my life. I'm gonna do this and that. I'm gonna be this, be that, and blah blah blah. And then your brain will say, okay, fuck it, we have to do this thing. And now you'll have all the motivation of the world, all the energy of the world, all the ideas, because your brain knows how to do the things. It just needs the input. So set some level of give yourself some level of anxiety, some level of expectations, because then you'll have the reason to move and achieve. Strong men are not free from anxiety. They've just learned how to deal with it. Just think about the way anxiety was useful for the survival of our ancestors. You know, imagine this situation. You are in a cave, you don't have any food, and you're starving. You get anxious because now you're going to die if you don't eat. So then you get out of the cave and you start hunting. And there is no such thing as, but there is no prey, but there is no that, there is no thing, there is no thing to eat. It's just, okay, or I find it, or I die.